The 2025 Formula One World Championship has taken yet another dramatic twist following Oscar Piastri's crash at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The McLaren driver, who has been the picture of composure for much of the season, now finds himself under immense scrutiny as the championship battle intensifies in the final stretch of the year. With just 7 rounds remaining, the young Australian faces the ultimate test of resilience. Can he manage the growing pressure and keep his rivals at bay? Piastri remains at the top of the drivers' standings on 324 points, but the Baku crash has had clear consequences. His lead over teammate Lando Norris has shrunk to just 25 points, while Max Verstappen, buoyed by consecutive victories, has clawed his way back into the conversation. Although Verstappen is still 69 points adrift, the Dutchman's momentum is undeniable, and few in the paddock are prepared to write off the 3-time champion. The margins are slim, and in modern Formula One, where the difference between victory and defeat is often measured in tenths of a second, a single mistake or mechanical issue can alter the entire complexion of the title race. McLaren's technical inconsistencies, from Norris's compromised pit stop in Baku to his costly DNF at Zandvoort, have only highlighted the fragility of the championship picture. For Piastri, the challenge extends beyond simply driving the MCL 39 at the limit. This is his first genuine shot at the world title in his rookie years at the front, and history shows that psychological pressure can weigh as heavily as aerodynamic drag. The Australian, however, has pointed to his triumphs in Formula 2 and Formula 3 as proof that he is prepared for the mental battle ahead. The intensity will naturally increase as we get closer to the end of the year, and I'm ready for that, Piastri explained to the press in Baku. I've been in this position before in other championships, and while the stage is bigger now, the emotions and the countdown feel the same. I know how to handle it, and I've got the right people around me, especially Mark Webber. The mention of Webber, a veteran of 9 Grand Prix victories and a consistent championship contender during his Red Bull years, is telling. Webber's experience of both the highs and lows of title fights could prove invaluable as Piastri navigates what may be the most stressful months of his career to date. Equally crucial to Piastri's championship hopes is whether McLaren can resolve their operational shortcomings. Team principal Andrea Stella was candid after Baku, admitting that pit stops remain a vulnerability at a time when rivals like Red Bull and Ferrari are consistently executing flawless sub-2-second tyre changes. In terms of pit stops, that's an area in which we've already concentrated our efforts, Stella admitted. But there's more work to do, not just in execution, but in making the hardware itself more reliable. The racing is tighter than ever, and a single slow pit stop can cost valuable track position. That's something we simply cannot afford in the remaining races. It's a stark reality. In a championship where milliseconds matter, McLaren's Achilles heel could derail an otherwise outstanding campaign. The team's engineers are reportedly fast-tracking updates to their pit stop equipment, with Stella hinting that the goal is to make every operation more straightforward and natural for the mechanics. While McLaren continues to iron out its flaws, Verstappen and Red Bull are looming ominously. Despite their difficult start to 2025, Verstappen's recent resurgence has sent ripples of unease through the paddock. The Dutchman thrives under pressure and has repeatedly demonstrated his ability to capitalise on others' mistakes. If McLaren's reliability falters even slightly, Verstappen could pounce. Norris, meanwhile, is equally dangerous. Though hampered by misfortune in recent races, the Briton is driving at the peak of his powers and relishes the prospect of challenging his younger teammate. The internal dynamic within McLaren could yet become combustible if Norris senses that the championship is slipping away. Oscar Piastri's composure has been one of the defining narratives of 2025. But Baku has exposed cracks in what had been an almost unshakable campaign. The Australian must now juggle the dual pressures of external expectation and internal rivalry, while hoping McLaren can resolve its operational gremlins before it's too late. The next few races, beginning with Suzuka and followed by Austin, Mexico City and Sao Paulo, will test not just Piastri's driving but his ability to thrive under the kind of psychological pressure that has broken many before him. For now, the young Australian still holds the upper hand, but as the tension mounts and the championship pendulum swings, his rivals are sharpening their claws. Behind the calm exterior, the true test of Oscar Piastri's mettle is only just beginning. One of the biggest talking points among paddock insiders is Piastri's remarkable maturity for a driver only in his second full season at the front. While some suggest his calm persona could shield him from the usual psychological strain, others argue that his relatively short exposure to championship pressure might still be tested in crunch moments. History is littered with drivers who looked unflappable until the decisive stages exposed vulnerabilities. How Piastri handles wheel-to-wheel battles against Verstappen or Norris in high-stakes finales will be the true measure of his temperament.